I just qualified for a payout of $2,000 from Tradeify in 15 days of trading with 0 losing days. I'm going to be requesting it on New Year's Day. In this video, I'm going to highlight some of my trades and my thought process behind them. If you're interested in any of these indicators I use, you can check out the link below or join our Discord to learn more. These trades were on the 17th of December, and this was about halfway to my profit target on my Tradeify account. Today was a very simple day for me. I took 2 trades, and the trades were off of the lower level, and they were to VWAP. VWAP is this white line up here. And you might be asking, how did you know this level was going to hold? And there's no way really to know, right? We don't know if a level is always going to hold. In fact, if we go look at the next day, right, this one, it holds quite well in this day, right? You see repeated holds very well in this day. But if we look on to the next day, right, I mean, it absolutely slams through it, right? This is an incredibly far down day. I think it was nearing 4%, right? So how do we know that this is going to hold? Well, really, we don't. So I manage that with my stop loss here and having a good risk management ratio, right? I only have to win one of these trades to account for 2 of these stop losses, right? This is at least twice as big as this. Now, another thing that told me that this was likely to happen is, as part of my personal trading style, I like to bet on things repeating as they were previously happening. So if we look back, we see VWAP is becoming a hard level, and we see this lower standard deviation is becoming a hard level. And we can see that same pattern where we're heading to VWAP, and we're heading to the level, and we're heading to VWAP. So my thought process at market open was, okay, we just did this. What are the odds that we're going to do the same thing? So I took a position once I saw we started bouncing, and I took it up to VWAP, and that position worked out wonderfully. Now, in another world, if I was thinking better, I could have taken a short off of VWAP, although I probably would have got stop loss because I would probably have a stop like this. But that was a totally valid trade. I usually don't trade off of VWAP. I use it more so as a take profit level. Another trade I took was literally the exact same setup, right? I took a trade right here, and I went into a little bit of drawdown. And again, we don't know for sure if it's going to bounce, right? Today was a beautiful day, but as I showed you earlier, the following day, it crashed down through 3 levels. So how are we winning this? We're making sure that if we win, we're winning at least twice as much as when we lose. So that allows it. So if I win one of these and then this one fails, I've still made money for the day, right? That's the very simple concept behind it. And I'm taking it from the lower standard deviation back to VWAP in a repetition of what I did before. This is the 26th of December where I had almost hit my payout target. I think I had 1 or 2 more days from here. And today was a very simple day, employing the same exact concepts that I employed in the previous trade that I showed you. We see that this level is holding very strong, right? And it does the same thing once the market opens. But in the pre-market, we're seeing this. We're seeing we are not really getting above VWAP. I mean, we got a little bit above, but not very much. So my thought process was fairly simple, right? I see, okay, the market opens right here, and I see we are completely failing to get above, I don't think we had a single 2 minutes above VWAP in this whole time span. So I'm thinking this, I'm like, okay. And I enter a short position once I start seeing a red candle. They're pretty much that simple. And I'm trying to take it down to the next level. And luckily, this one worked out exemplary, right? This was beautiful. And again, I could have probably taken this, although to be frank with you, if I'm taking this, I'm probably getting stop lossed here. Just completely being frank. There are some things where it'll chop through it because this is the market. This isn't some computer game. This is the market will do what the market will do, right? We can push through levels without a care in the world, and then we can have, right, 1 point off of the level bounce. Sometimes it'll work amazingly. Sometimes it'll work not very well. Now, this day on the NASDAQ, the 23rd of December, was again about halfway through my account, halfway to my profit target. And it is practically identical to what happened in the previous trade. We see the exact same thing. We can't really break above VWAP. We're sort of respecting this level, right? However, you can see we've kind of busted through. And then you can see the same thing here. You bust through. However, I'm trying to do the exact same thing that I see in the pre-market. I see, okay, we're projecting off of VWAP. We're coming to the level. Maybe that happens again. Who knows, right? So I see this, and honestly, I'm going to be completely frank with you. By pure luck, I got in towards the end of this. I would have probably cried if I got in towards the beginning. I would have been pretty stressed out. And then I put my stop way above the range, right? Usually how I do my stops is you'll notice the average candle range. I like to do 2 of the average candles, basically, as like a bare minimum for me. Sometimes I'll do it structurally, right? Whereas say I'm going, say for example, this was a long, and I'm longing here. I might put a stop loss beneath here, something like that. For me, it's pretty variable. But it's the exact same idea. We are failing to break above VWAP, and we're seeing a push down to the level. It's the exact same thing here. We're failing to break above VWAP, we take a push to the level. And I took a quick and easy win, and I logged off for the day, not even 20 minutes after the market opened. This is another very similar day. However, this was actually my worst day on the account. I ended up with negative $3, which of course, getting 15 winning days in a row, that has a huge amount of luck involved, right? I can get a couple good winning days in a row, but usually every 5-10 days, I'm going to have a loser. Even if I'm performing my absolute best and I'm doing everything perfectly, there's just some inherent loss involved in trading. To be frank, I got pretty lucky on this one. So at the open, I saw very blatant, right? I'm looking similar concept in the pre-market. We're doing an uptrend, right? We're bouncing off of the band in an uptrend. So I'm seeing the same concept, employing what I see in the pre-market and then trying to do it in the actual cash session. So I see, okay, we're bouncing off of it. Maybe that repeats. And I take that position and I take a loss. Part of trading, you take a loss. And then I'm like, okay, perhaps we've switched to a downtrend. So I try shorts. And that does not work out very well. So I go back to my initial thesis of we are probably going to be in an uptrend because of the pre-market. And I luckily make most of it back, right? I end the day at negative $3. I'm not unhappy about negative $3. If it was negative $1,000 on a 50K prop account, yeah, I'd be pretty upset. However, this was exceptional. But it also involves a lot of discipline. It's something very hard to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to give a little explanation of my thought process behind my trades because a lot of people were really interested in understanding like my mindset and how I use these indicators. So I hope this helped. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.